Hey everybody, I've decided to make this video about golfer's elbow or medial epicondylitis. It's tendonitis in the elbow, largely around this bony protrusion right here on the inside. Different from lateral epicondylitis or tennis elbow, which affects this outer area here. I got tendonitis here in my elbow around this medial epicondyle through overuse. Injury probably occurred sometime during woodworking or rock climbing, potentially surfing and swimming. I can't really put my finger on it, but over the past year it's gotten pretty painful, and I notice it more and more now to the point where just washing my face, there's some sensation in there, a little bit of pain. I've done a lot of research, mostly on the web, a little bit of reading as well, and I thought I would put together all the information that I'd found for everybody out there that might be suffering from the same thing, to see if you can expedite the healing process and get some better rehabilitation exercises in place. To get started, some of the tools that I use when I am working things out include a forearm roller massaging tool. It's a great way to get started, kind of loosen up some of the forearm, some of that connective tissue, maybe even hit some target spots, work into them a little bit, get the blood moving, and just get everything nice and relaxed so the exercises have a better effect. And then starting at a table somewhere that's going to get things right about at that arm level. I usually set up like a foam block, or if you had any kind of padding to kind of pad the elbow while you're doing the exercise, it's really going to help. I like to start with a few dumbbell exercises. I use a 15-pound dumbbell just because that's what works for me. Obviously it's going to be different for everybody, so try a few different weights, see what your body tells you, what's not going to feel too heavy, what's not going to be so light that you're doing tons of reps and not getting any feeling out of it. Basically, the dumbbell exercise, I'll put my elbow and my tricep down on the block, have the dumbbell pretty vertical, and what's key is my thumb is behind the barbell part of it, right? It's not in front like I'm gonna be busting out some curls. It's back here, and that's really gonna protect your wrist during the exercises. But to walk you through it, I'll start with a vertical position here. Hold my shoulder just to make sure everything's nice and stable. Curl the wrist in, and then slowly allow the weight to drop, straightening the arm out, resisting it the whole time. And then as you hit the point where your arm is straight, you're gonna let that wrist unfurl a little bit there. And for me, that's when I really start to feel some sensation in that area where I'm having tendonitis. What's key is at the bottom of this, you need to take the other hand and assist to get the weight back where you started. Don't ever curl it back up, or else you're gonna be going against the grain. So I usually do about 10 to 15 reps with this, depending on how I'm feeling. Call that a set. And it really comes down to where you are in the rehabilitation process, how strong you're feeling, as to how many sets you can do. So just listen to your body. Usually max out at about 3 sets there. Secondly, to focus on some of the other muscle groups that attach into that same position, this area here is called the pronator teres. Kind of controls this side-to-side motion with your wrist. I use same kind of dumbbell, only I just put weight on one side and a little bit of like tennis racket grip on the other side. And depending on where you keep this weight, you can adjust how heavy that swing weight's gonna be, right? So if you bring that weight down closer to the hand, it's gonna be less weight that you're feeling when you let it drop over. So the way this exercise works is, same deal with the thumb, bring it on the back side, or just put it straight on the barbell. Here I'll put the forearm down on the block, have the barbell vertical, and then slowly let it tilt its way to the outside, resist it all the way down, nice and slow. And for me, with my injury, this is where I really start to feel it. I can feel it stretching. I can also feel a little bit of sensation all around that bony protrusion, that epicondyle. It's not pain per se, it's just a tendony feeling. And if you've got tendonitis, I'm sure you understand what I'm talking about. Cool thing with this exercise is you can really adjust a few things to kind of find what's going to work best for you. For me, I get the most sensation with a pretty straight arm. But you can adjust this angle between your bicep and your forearm, make that angle more acute, and see how things feel different. Once you find where the sensation is for you, that's where you're going to want to do a lot of the repeats. And same kind of deal, you need to aid with the other hand to bring it back. Do about 10-15 reps, however many sets your body is going to allow you to do. Lastly, one of the exercises that I found is really speeding up the recovery process is I took a 5-pound weight, tied some cordelette around it, and then you wrap that cordelette up on a stick like this, or you could use anything that you're able to kind of get a grip on, right? Any kind of post, whatever. And what I'll do with this is, hopefully you can still see me, but I hold my arms out straight, right? And then I'll lower the weight down. Now, what's really important is when you lower the weight down, you're gonna want the lower down to be an upward motion with the hand and wrist. So that's what you're resisting is in an upward motion, right? If you're lowering the weight down in a downward motion, it's going against what we're trying to do. We don't want any contraction, right? We want it to be lengthening this under part of the forearm, right? So make sure you've got your grip correct there, and you lower that weight down, right? If you just want to focus on the elbow that's having problems, you can lower weight down with that, grab with the other hand, readjust your grip, right? Or you can work both arms. If you keep them out there nice and straight, you're going to start to feel it in your shoulders, you'll feel it all around your forearms, and you'll feel it work in that medial epicondyle area as well. Now, when the weight gets down to the floor, what you do is you flip the post around, and then you reel it back in. Same deal. You want the weighted part to be in upward motion with the wrist. That's why you flip the grip around, right? The post around. So reel that baby back in, and you're going to really start to feel the blood moving. It's going to give you a little bit of a pump. And what this is doing is it's extending everything in that forearm. At the same time, it's working the muscles on the top of your forearm, right? Things that are going to balance out the contraction down here. That's one of the reasons that tendonitis really kicks into gear is an imbalance in the muscles, right? For instance, if you're rock climbing, you're doing a lot of pulling, right? You're doing a lot of grabbing with your hands, but you're not doing a lot of the opposite, right? You're not doing a lot of like wrist up exercises or a whole lot of pushing. So over time, it adds stress, and then you can get an overuse injury. Now, that's pretty much it for the exercises. But another thing that I incorporate along with this arm massage tool here is a scraping tool. And this is kind of like a little torture device, but I think it's really important, especially if you've let the injury ride for a while. Like for me, I didn't really start working on this until it had been hurting for over 6 months. So a lot of scar tissue really set in. And what you can do with the scraping tool is get a little coconut oil on it, whatever's gonna allow it to slide over the area easily, but you can pull it across and you're gonna hear it moving over that fascia, that bunched up fascia, chunks of scar tissue that are not only in the tendons but also rolling through the muscles. And it can allow you to break all that stuff up and get everything moving in a more linear fashion. It's super painful at times and it kind of sounds nasty, but if you can just block it out, put on headphones, whatever you need to do, and just do this deep release work with the scraping tool, the exercises are gonna be much more beneficial because everything's gonna get broken up. Then you're gonna do those extension exercises and it's really gonna get everything going in the right direction and get you back on track to healing up the tendonitis. After I'm done with a session of this, I'll go to the freezer and grab an ice pack, wrap it around there nice and tight, and just hang out and let it run its course until that pack is totally warm, because cooling it all down is gonna not only feel really good, but it's also gonna flush out that blood that's come in there and allow new blood to come in after you're done icing. Aside from that, I've been taking a few supplements, collagen, citrus extract, things that are going to promote tendon growth, tendon regeneration, joint health, things like that. But yeah, I hope all this was helpful for you and you guys can heal up quickly and get back out there.